All right, sit back, Wilds. We head back to Foxborough. In the battle of former Bama quarterbacks yesterday, it was Tua who came out on top over Mac Jones, but just barely. Miami gets the close 17-16 win, but Mac looked pretty good, pretty comfortable. Finished with 281 yards and the touchdown, no interceptions. Most passing yards by a Pats QB in his first career start. Here was Mac on where he goes from here.
Yeah, I think we can get better. That's just how we have to look at it. Definitely wasn't good enough starting with me. Yeah, so we got to watch the film, and we lost, so it's not good enough.
He's so quiet, I can barely hear him. Wilds, should Pats fans be encouraged or discouraged after the Week 1 loss?
Encouraged, Jenna. Mac Jones, come here, buddy. I'm Robin Williams, and you're Matt Damon. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's the penalties' fault. We had 85 yards in penalties. It's not your fault. We had 85 yards in penalties. We also turned the ball over, and you did not. In fact, it's not your fault. I'll get out. Come here, Mac Jones. Come here. You cry right here on my shoulder. In fact, when you look at rookie quarterbacks who started Week 1, guess who was the best? Oh, checks notes, of all time? His name is Mac Jones. It was not his fault. He was the most accurate rookie of all. Wow. Yes, that's all time, my friend. Wow. Including, they got Rick Meyer, solid guy. RG3 won Rookie of the Year. Of all time, he was the best rookie, obviously, yesterday as well. He was better than Trey Lance. He was better than Jordan Love. He was better than your guy, Zach Wilson. He was better than your old friend with the large neck, Trevor Lawrence. So, Mac Jones, it was not your fault. You did great. Encouraged.
All right, Wilds, I hate to... Listen, I got to talk to Wilds for a second here. Because Wilds is a smarter football fan than he is leading on to in this segment. So I got a question for you. If Mac Jones doesn't turn the ball over, if Mac Jones completed the highest percentage of passes for any rookie quarterback ever in his debut, why did the Patriots only score 16 points? The answer is, and you know the answer, because Mac Jones was playing with the training wheels on the whole game. It was dink and dunk and dink and dunk. And so why does that matter? Because in the red zone, that doesn't work, which is why they went 14 plays, 65 yards, field goal. 14 plays, 67-yard, field goal. 14 play, 57-yard, field goal. The one touchdown they scored came after a failed third down where they got bailed out by a very questionable roughing the passer call. So this idea, listen, the Pats are staring 1-3 in the face, staring it in the face with the schedule they have over the next 3 weeks. The idea that you should feel happy about losing a winnable game to Miami because when the offense scored 16 points, no, and you say he was better than Trevor Lawrence. I disagree. They let Trevor Lawrence go try to do things, and he threw 3 touchdowns, threw 3 picks. He's going to make mistakes. That's how you grow a quarterback. The Pats don't have enough talent, Wilds, to be able to just win games with the dinking and dunking that they had Mac Jones do. That's why you lose to Miami when Miami didn't play that well.
Okay, it was just Week 1. We're going to slowly grow. You know, he's not necessarily, we're still on a Dak Prescott, Big Ben trajectory. I was encouraged. Not happy, Broussard, but encouraged.
Yeah, Nick, you're going overboard. All right, your boy Trevor Lawrence with the big neck. They played the Houston Texans, okay? Mac Jones, the reason they only had 16 points is because they played Miami, which darn near made the playoffs last year and had the 6th best team in the league as far as opponents' points allowed. So that defense is stout, and that's what gave New England some trouble. Look, Mac, you're right. They didn't air it out with Mac Jones, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that game management because I'm old enough to remember, to use a certain person's phrase, to remember when Tom Brady was game managing and they were able to win Super Bowls in New England when he was a youngster. So I'm just saying, look, Mac was fine. The only problem I have with what Wild said is when he showed that graphic, it didn't really inspire confidence when I saw the other 2 names on it, RG3 and Rick Meyer. Other than that, I'm with you, Wild. This one hurt your case.
Those are the best.
You should have just had Mac.
Best of all time.
Period.
No. Stop it. Yes!
God.
He scores. Jacksonville stay with the Hail Mary to set as 28-point dogs in this one. It was simply wonderful.
Oh,
Kevin
they plant the
Wildes,
flag?
what else you got
no.
for us? And the flag.
Oh, we'll start with the weird. Georgia almost shut out UAB, but Keandre Swoops had a pick 6. You know what that means? Time to don the turnover dragon skeleton. A lot of people are asking, is it a wise decision to put on a dragon carcass when you're down 49 points? The answer, dragon skeleton-lutely. Georgia stays unbeaten. UAB now 1-1. Moving on to the wonderful. We're going to go across the pond for some Irish women's cricket. Civil Service North. You know I'm a Civil Service North guy. Ball goes out to the pitch, and guess who ends up getting it? Not that fielder. This little girl coming in. Her name is Dazzle, and she's got it. She has broken her leash, and she refuses to give it back. This isn't just an animal on the field. This is an animal participating in the sport. Dazzle does a fantastic job. Pembroke ends up winning the tournament. The dog wins your heart. Great job, Dazzle. Moving on to the weird Georgia State Panthers visiting the Tar Heels. Panthers head coach Sean Elliott firing up his team. For the record, Broussard does this to me every time I do Weird and Wonderful. I'm like, Broussard, we got to get going. He's like, I got you, Wildes. He starts pushing me. He rips my helmet off. Panthers lose to North Carolina 17-59. And finally, the wonderful Patriots Dolphins.
Oh, my goodness. After that.
Patriots couldn't hold on to the ball, but if we're going to fumble the ball, let's at least do it charismatically. Hollins hit, clips Jonnu Smith. The ball is loose. We recover it, but turnovers end up doing my poor old Patriots. Tua wins, Pats lose, and that's the Weird and Wonderful from the National Pastimes.
That is a thing of beauty today, Wildes. That was wonderful. No huddle. No problem. I got you. Start in L.A. Matt Stafford dazzled in his Rams debut. I used that word. I said dazzled. He came, he saw, he conquered the Chicago Bears with flair. Finished 321 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here was QB1 on his Rams debut.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of anticipation for this game. You know, for me, you know, it's a new experience for me, a new place, new stadium, new fans, the whole deal. But this team has embraced me, and I really appreciate that. You know, I've done everything I can to try to, you know, just work as hard as I can and you know, get myself in this team. And they wrapped their arms around me, and it felt good to go out there and play with them tonight. Such incredible players on this team. I'm lucky to be a part of it. You know, I want to do everything I can to try and lead this team to where we want to go. Obviously, this is just one. Got to keep building on this, but it felt great to get out there and go play.
How about that, Matthew Stafford? So, Broussard, did last night prove that the preseason hype for Stafford and the Rams is real?
Well, yeah, it was a great debut. I mean, one of the greatest team debuts we've ever seen from a quarterback, and to do it against a defense that was in the top 10 previously. Last year, they struggled a little bit, but over the last few seasons, this has been one of the league's better defenses, and Stafford proved to be all that he was advertised to be. And the thing is that they didn't even use him as much as they could. He only threw it 26 times. So imagine there's going to be games, I'm sure, where he's throwing it in the 40s as far as attempts, and you could see big things coming. Now Sean McVay is able to use a little bit more of his playbook. They obviously had the 2 long passes. So, so far, so good for the Rams. And they're going to need to be this good because that division is no joke. Everybody won in that division.
Right. Division's totally undefeated. It's the opposite of the NFC North, where the division is totally defeated. Listen, Stafford was exceptional last night. There is no taking anything away from that. But no, it didn't answer the questions I have. The question about Matt Stafford is, how is he going to play in big moments? How is he going to play against good teams? Because despite Al and Chris doing a 2-hour monologue last night about how absolutely nothing that ever happened in Detroit was Matt Stafford's fault, some of it was. And the 8-65 career record, 8-65 is what they put on the screen last night against teams with a winning record. That's a real thing. So no, listen, I think we all picked the Rams to win that division. We think they're going to be good. I need to see them against good teams. The real story in this football game to me was the Chicago Bears' mismanagement of the quarterback situation. is the type of things that should cost people jobs. Andy Dalton has no business starting in the NFL on a team with Justin Fields on it. The team was drawing dead the moment Dalton threw that end zone interception on the opening drive of the game. Justin Fields should start immediately. They play, I think, Cincinnati next week. He should be the starter and try to see if the Bears can get a good season together. That, to me, was a bigger story than Stafford, who obviously